out of the 7 guys, I was actually the last one to see, because all those guys who were there said, I saw her first, so draw code had to apply. So I told all these guys who are on the line, I took my ticket number 655,
and wait for your time.
Like, you guys have 3 weeks. If anyone does not approach in 3 weeks, and Fiona was there. Me, I'll talk to Fiona because you said she's your roommate, and I'm gonna shoot my shot. Yes. You know, you broke up with me. It was Easter. You came.
You know, if we were like in the current present day, you know how these days the Gen Zs, they have like the talking stage before they even go into.
So that was our talking stage.
That was our talking stage.
For me, I knew that was dating.
No, that was our talking
then why
stage.
Did you break up with me? I was like, hey, yo, I'm your husband. Feel free, you can.
So you want her to go get clothes from the other room and
come and dress from there. I mean.
You follow me.
Yes, thank you.
It was saying something more than gold. I've got something more than gold. If all I have is Jesus, I've got something more than gold. And those are the lyrics that we just kept on. And the song was on repeat, and we were putting it on the tummy as the song plays. And then there's another one, the Uganda one. I can't remember it. Those are the 2 songs that we kept on playing.
We're just playing worship.
On worship, on repeat. And you're like, this baby will turn. And the nurses were...
And I literally felt her turning, like... You can feel when there's movement.
Yes.
The nurses and the midwives thought we were mad. I'd like to get your phone and just drop a text message to your spouse, to your husband and your wife, and tell them, babe, I love you, and see the kind of response that you get. If
they say, what do you want now? Me, I'm trying. Guys, welcome back. This is the Rodah Kidula show, where we glorify marriage and talk about the good side of it. And thank you so much for being part of what we do. Before we start today's conversation, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so. Thank you for supporting what we do here, and we are so grateful. I also would like to know whom you want me to host. Couples that you look up to, couples that are doing their best to honor God. Let me say that, to be safe. Because we never know who is really saved. Only God knows. That is what life is teaching me, slowly and carefully. But yes, welcome. My name is Rodah Kidula Kedaha. And today I have a beautiful, amazing couple. Yay! A very big name.
Big name, tell.
Edgar, I know.
Big name.
By the way, I can't even believe you're here.
I can't even believe you called me. I saw your chat and I was like, what?
Tumefikiwa.
Finally.
I even told her that we're going to be on Rodah Kidula's show. She was like, no, I have to go to the salon. I have to go and do my nails. I have to go and
thank you. I feel honored. Guys, you see, even me, I was to go.
So who's a big name?
You.
Yeah.
God is. You look really nice.
Thank
really
you.
Beautiful.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
Plug me. My next hairstyle, guys.
Oh, thank you for having us.
We need to know who saw who first here.
So she's called Treasure.
Oh.
So you find a treasure.
Oh, you found the treasure.
Yes.
She's called Treasure.
Yes.
Who is she?
All right. This is Treasure Banti Kukundakwe. My lovely wife for the last 12 years. We've known each other for 16 years.
Oh.
Yes, over 16 years now, right? I think so.
I think so. Is it 16?
2008.
2009?
2008. 2008. Yeah.
I like the way people come here and decide how long they have seen them.
Yeah.
Tell us more about her.
She's a Ugandan from the western side of Uganda.
So you are getting that special treatment we hear.
Yes, it's somersault.
I was in the kitchen, but he has... Okay.
Asili kuna ile ukileta chakula unapigiwa magoti.
Yes.
Unaambia welcome home Mikey.
Mikey. Oh.
Yes. See, like, utakula nini, or your food is in the microwave. Go and warm it up.
Do you feel like eating today?
Yeah. I don't feel like cooking. You can glove or bathe.
No.
Yeah.
You're getting the good.
Hata nikifika home, nimetoka event, nimefika home mid. I'll find her there. I'll find food on the table. She's sleeping there, waiting for me to come.
To eat together.
She eats earlier with the kids, but she will just sit there and let me eat and then go to bed. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
So, you know, some of our husbands will start thinking they got a raw deal.
I think it's because now I'm married, I'm an ambassador. I'm married to a Ugandan. It's something that I've seen happen in Uganda a lot. When we visit, even when we visit our friends, we find sometimes their wives sit there and wait for them. The food has been covered, it's on the table, and the wife will be sleeping on the chair. Once the guy gets home, she wakes up, washes his hands, and lets the guy eat, as the guy just tells the wife how the day was.
Hey.
It's something I've seen. It's something I've seen happen in Uganda. So I think it's also how they were brought up by their moms and their aunties. So it's something. It's a cultural thing. Yeah. Unajoku Kenya is more.
We are now the aunts and the mothers who should teach our girls.
Yes.
You were introducing her. She's Ugandan.
She's Ugandan. She's my wife. For the last 12 years, God has blessed us with two amazing babies. A boy who's 9, Luke, and a girl who's 3, Sophia. Yeah. And she's the love of my life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Her personality?
Her personality, she's a very quiet and observant person. Yeah, so I don't even know if this interview will last 10 minutes. We'll never
Leave
know.
that.
She doesn't say much, but she observes a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the talkative person.
It's so interesting because the last, I think, 3 interviews, we have had a shift where it's the man who talks more, and it's such a joy. Because before that, comments were like, let the man speak. Oh, we want the man to give the man more airtime. So you're in good hands.
But you know, they always say men have, I don't know how verifiable this is. We have 19,000 words in a day, and women have 250,000 words in a day. So you see, we are reserving the words because we still have meetings to attend. We still have to make calls, so we can't use all our words.
You can't use all our words, but for today, you have to use yours. Introduce your husband to us.
Hi.
Hi.
As he's already done the introduction, this is Meshach, Edgar Obota. He's my husband. And aside from, because normally when they say introduce, you want to like tell the professional side, but as a person, he's a man who loves the Lord, and he's a man who loves his family, and he's a good son, and he's loyal to his friends.
Wow.
Yeah. So as a person, that is who he is. Yeah.
As a husband, as a father?
As a husband, of course, as a husband, he's dedicated and loyal. He's very supportive. And as a father, he loves his kids. He loves the children love him. Whenever they know that dad is nearby, they go rushing, which reminds me of what I saw growing up. Because whenever I would see a father coming, we were many.
How many?
We were many, and he would embrace all of us. We were 9.
Oh.
9 girls.
Yes.
9 girls.
Yes.
So you have 8 sisters-in-law.
Yes.
Hey, congratulations. I don't know how that goes, but it depends on the type of people you're dealing with.
Yeah.
His career?
His career, he's very someone who is very driven, which is something that I really emulate and love about him. He's visionary, so he gets an idea. He loves ideas and executing ideas. So yeah, he's into media, and he loves creating ideas. Yeah. As his brand says, ideas into reality.
Into realities. And do you remember, guys, when I was bragging about the Women of Excellence Awards? You were behind the awards.
Yes.
Yes, he is the guy behind. the calling, the agency behind the calling.
Agency behind the calling. We run a media agency called BH Media Agency. And our tagline is, just as my wife has said, ideas into reality. So we focus on 5 key pillars: women empowerment, transport, teen engagement, education, and agriculture. So we create events and activities around the 5 pillars of BH Media Agency. So that's how we were able to, it's a vision that God gave us. God would have given anyone else to come up with the East African Women of Excellence. But just God gave that vision to me, and it sent me to the right people, came to CITAM, Hope Media, sat down with them. We co-created the concept together. And I believe there's something that God wants to do with the women of East Africa. And I was just privileged to be used as a vessel.
Thank you. It was such a big honor. And the Transport Awards are coming.
The Africa
Yes, that will be
Mashariki,
before this show.
Africa Mashariki Transport Awards. This will be in our third edition. And we work closely with the Ministry of Transport. And basically what we're driving at is celebrating excellence in the transport industry, while also advocating for behavior change and on our roads, and creating a forum where all stakeholders, government, private sector, public and PSV operators can sit in one room and discuss issues transport. Yes.
Oh, nice. May the Lord cover you and and keep you doing His work.
Amen.
So, how did this happen?
Well, it happened.
Who was in Uganda or who came to Kenya?
I was in Uganda. I was privileged to do my A-levels in Uganda, and I was called to the Harvard of East Africa.
Ooh, that's Makerere.
Yes.
By the way, if you're watching from Uganda, receive love. Thank you so much for watching.
Yes, wherever they know. Dara. Yes, you're simply saying Asanteni Sana.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the reason why we call it the Harvard of East Africa is we produce, as an alumni, we produce presidents and men and women of substance. So I got a call up to go to Makerere University, and that's where I met this beautiful, lovely young girl.
The first day you saw her, what did you see?
Her. So that day, it was an afternoon. And shout outs to you. I know you'll be watching, or you're watching, Fiona Kobusinje. She's now residing in America, serving in the U.S. Marines. So we were in our room, first floor, hostel. So the hostel bus had just come in the afternoon, bringing guys from campus. Then I saw this brown, beautiful girl coming off the bus, and I was like, what? We were like 7 other dudes. Because our room, we used to call our room the East African Connection, because my roommate was a Tanzanian. It's called Chidi, and then we had some Ugandans and Kenyans. So we never had classes. We had sessions in our room, just to chat and do boy stuff. So tulikuwa kwa balcony, sitting there on the balcony, and then I saw her. I was like, "Ish, that chick is pretty." And Fiona was also there. She was like, "Oh, that's my roommate." I was like, "Yeah, that's your roommate." Then you've had this story before.
Yeah. She's asking you now.
It's me hearing it.
So, out of the 7 guys, I was actually the last one to see, because all those guys who were there said, I saw her first. So bro code had to apply. So I told all these guys who were on the line, I took my ticket number 655.
And wait for your turn.
So I waited for my turn. So the guy said, okay, since we saw her, let's try fast. So I was like, you guys have 3 weeks. Yes.
You have no idea this is going on.
She was just walking there and going to her room. We are up there on the balcony, planning. Yes. Like you guys have 3 weeks. If anyone does not approach her in 3 weeks, and Fiona was there. Me, I'll talk to Fiona because you said she's your roommate, and I'm gonna shoot my shot. Yes. To cut the long story short, the 3 weeks elapsed, and I told Fiona, on Sundays we normally used to, as the East African connection, we used to have something called soul food in campus. We never used to. We loved cooking, and the hostel had a kitchen. So soul food was. Everyone had a turn to invite someone special to come for soul food, to come and bond with the guys, eat. That's how we connected with her roommate Fiona. So I told Fiona, for the next soul food, I'm the one who's inviting. So Edgar Treasure to come for soul food. And then that Sunday, fortunately or unfortunately, she went home. They live in Entebbe. Makere is in Kampala. So I was like, man, I hope she makes it. I was so tense. I was like, there's no way she...
Our special guest.
Yes. Yeah, so I was throwing my hints. I was throwing my dad jokes there. By the way, this dad jokes thing did not come when I became a dad.
You started way before.
Yeah, so I was throwing jokes and throwing a side eye, looking if she's gonna laugh at them, and she was so serious. She came much later. The good thing is she came much later. So I was trying to see if she was interested in my jokes and the food that at least she ate, and that's how the journey began.
Now we need her side of the story.
Yes.
Wow.
He saw you before you knew him.
Before I knew him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It was quite some time ago. I didn't even know that side of the story at that time. So he just told me that way later.
Yeah.
It was just, you know how university, you're just a group of friends, and then you just go along as a friend group. There's like really nothing special, no special interest.
Look at her.
No special interest there, really. So it was just a friend group, really, just hanging out, like after the stress of classes and everything. And you come back and there's this group of guys who are really, they were quite different.
Chatterboxes.
Yeah, they were quite different. So. It was just that there was nothing special.
Did you notice him in this group?
I think the way he kept coming around, and kept coming around.
I was like that persistent. When the king said, if you do not give her what she wants, did you give me what?
I don't know what you wanted, but anyway.
You were just coming around.
Yes, he was just coming around, and so we were just hanging out as a friend group, really. Yeah, because we were in uni, you have so many people around you, and you also have attention also around you being in uni. Yeah, so it was that at that time.
At that time, then when did it become now dating?
I think after uni.
Oh.
It was during uni.
Okay. After uni.
It's okay, guys.
You know, guys, they have their idea. Like even when you go for coffee, they are already dating you.
Yeah.
They're already dating you, but I would probably have gone for coffee with someone else maybe the week before. But
it's normal. You might think you've dated for 4 years and for us too.
Yes,
it's normal.
So it was not 2008.
It was 2008. It was 2008 when we were doing the hanging around and in that friend group and everything. Now, of course, now after uni, now when everyone goes their own ways.
Because it's not even an investment. There was a time. This is it's a funny story. You know, in uni she did statistics and.
Yes, that.
In statistics and degree statistics. So. We used to hang out with her in the library. For me, I did a bachelor's degree in IT. So my notes were very few. So I used to go with her to the library, and her notes were just numbers. So I finished going through my notes, and how she's still doing her calculations. I'm like, I can't wait until she finishes. Then we take a walk back to the hostel. So all that time, I knew
we are dating.
And the funny thing is, there's a time, you broke up with me. it was Easter. You came.
You know, if we were like in the current present day, you know how these days the Gen Zs, they have like the talking stage before they even go into.
So that was our talking stage.
That was our talking stage.
For me, I knew that was dating.
No, that was our talking
Then why
stage.
did you break up with me? Because
if you're talking to multiple people, you're like, I don't want to
Talk to this one.
to pursue this any longer. So I'll just,
Because she came to the hostel door, she said, you know what, that common line, it's not you.
It's not you. I'm tired of talking to you, not dating you.
So what I did, I had some little money, and it was a long Easter weekend.
Yeah.
I just got into the next Akamba bus and went to Kenya.
Oh.
Yes.
You were heartbroken?
Yes.
Talking stage guys.
No, for me, I knew it was a fully fledged relationship. I mean, I was even bragging to the guys. I'm like, yo, guys, I bagged this, man.
Yeah.
Like, but the funny thing is, I never had foresight. What I had was just a bragging rights. Like, yo, I have the prettiest chick. Yeah, that is what. Yeah, but for her, I think basically the reason why probably she broke up with me is she was like, "Where is this going?"
Yes.
Because I remember she talked about my course is really heavy on me right now, and I want to focus on my books, so I don't see this working.
Yeah.
So I went to Kenya.
To Kenya to cry.
Yeah, to cry. I don't know, Akamba. Hey, the roads were bad. The bus says the seats were not as comfortable as they are right now. So I cried enough all the way to Nairobi in the bus. So when the conductor passes and looks at you like, and it's dusty today, there's a lot of
crying.
Then I came back after Easter. It was the shortest breakup because when I came back, there was a lot of noise in the hostel. At campus, I had a nickname, Sizzler.
Okay.
Yeah, because of I used to play rugby. Yes, and I used to be the hype.
The life of the party.
So I was like, yes, Sizzler is back here. So like there was noise around the hostel.
Yeah.
So she came much later. Like, oh, you didn't even tell me that you're going to Kenya. I was like, but see, you and I, why should I tell you? Yeah. So
why did you want to know?
Well, it was just open a kind of conversation, not for anything, but because you're considering him as a friend. You're just a friend, if your friend is
traveling, they say.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many friends did I have there who... You
had quite a lot.
Yeah.
He had many.
He said he used to play rugby.
Yes. And that's what's also what's scared because I think I was more... Should I bring it up?
Yes.
He was back in uni. He was, like you said, he was like the life of the party. So he had a lot of people around him.
Yeah.
So I was
girls throwing themselves on this rugby player.
Not exactly the girls, but I mean, like, the lifestyle, the partying and the everything. Me, I was more reserved. I've always been reserved, but I was more of like church girl, really.
Oh.
Yeah, and this guy is the life of the party. I'm like, wow, this guy.
Wasn't a church boy?
He was, but he just had this. You know how the rugby lifestyle is.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so I was more reserved. I wasn't all out.
On what?
On the rugby lifestyle.
No, you just had friends. There was a time even I went to watch one of the games. He had invited me,
and that was my happiest day ever. I even scored a try.
Ooh.
And I was celebrating. I was like, man, I saw you came with Fiona, and when I saw you guys walking in, the match had just started. The adrenaline. You guys were wondering why is Edgar really playing well today?
Yeah. So
this was the reason.
Yeah. So he was. He was.
Rugby club.
Yeah.
Remember that day?
Yeah, I know that, but it was quite interesting seeing that kind of lifestyle. But he still had like a aspect of seriousness. And I was like, okay, let's not go so fast. Let us just see. And then I think that's when I was like, I need to like take a step back because you're coming too fast. Just push back a
Relax.
bit. Relax.
But now you're here, 12 years later.
Yes.
What made you say yes to him finally?
It was a journey, I think. Remember, that was 2008, and then 2009 we finished campus. So of course now he had to go back.
Before you finished campus, remember I took you out. You know that was that day. Actually, allow me to mention it. Though you guys need to sponsor the show. CJ's.
CJ's.
CJ's had just started out at Wandegear. Their first branch in Wandegear. Wandegear is next to it's a town center in Makerere University. So I had my pocket money. I just received my allowance for that month.
Yeah, it was a lot. Pocket money. Pocket money we say.
I said I'm going to go all out.
All out.
I'm going to pour my heart out to her, and if it doesn't work out,
it's okay.
It's okay. I'm giving up on this day.
Yeah.
So we went to CJ's after lectures. I kept on like that day was the longest day ever. I was not even concentrating in class because she told me for me I'll be free at 7 because I have to go to the group discussion and then I go to the library. So from 7, that's when we can. That's how serious.
That is serious. Yeah.
Sure. So that day for me, I was not even concentrating in class. I was waiting for 7 p.m. for me to take her out to CJ's. Yes, in Wandegear. So we sat down there, and she was ordering. I was just as she was ordering, I was like, hey, okay, so now we have this. This is amount.
Your pocket money.
But I said, this is an investment. So I poured my heart out. I told her everything that I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, the money that I had carried that day got finished because we ate. We really ate. And the beautiful thing in Uganda, there's something called load shedding, power blackouts and stuff.
Which we now know.
I have no idea.
So power went out.
Yeah.
And I was like, instead of Asker's rushing to the hostel by grabbing a cab, why don't we just walk? Little did she know, and money's at all
the money, don't you?
Yes. So we had time to talk. I escorted her up to her door, and that day I slept like a king, man.
Did she respond to your heart?
She did. She in a unique way. For her, it took her time before she said yes. Because there's one thing about my wife is for her, before she gets into something, she needs to know, she needs to be sure what she's getting into, and she needs to see end to end before she can commit. So she said yes, but it was not an absolute yes, but in my heart I knew that's a score for me.
Okay, why him? That was the question.
Why him?
What stood out now for you about him?
Well, why him? That's quite interesting. Considering at that time also being fresh out of uni, you have so much around you. But I think it was, like I said before, it was God really. Because I also had to spend time with God and really pray about it. Because there's even something I've never told him. I even told God, if this is not for you, just end this thing.
No.
End this thing now.
Talking about the God factor, her best friend is called Peace, her daughter. So when now it started getting serious, in uni there's a place called St. Francis. There's a place called St. Francis. It's a chapel, and it's more of a garden like this where guys pray.
Yeah.
You can pass there like at 9 p.m. It's dark. You just hear. The first time my pastor was like, hey, "What's happening? Someone being mad. Someone is praying in tongue." So I got scared. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" So
Best friend.
Yes, when it was getting serious,
Yeah.
she was like, I need to introduce you to my friend, my best friend. She's like a sister to me. She needs to verify this.
Yeah.
She needs to give you like with a spiritual eye.
Right.
So
Yes.
we went to St. Francis. It was 7:30 p.m. And there was a team of girls praying. And then she
was the CU cheerleader at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to you, Peace.
Yeah, hi, Peace.
So we are still in good contact. Yeah. Anytime we're in UG, we always connect. So Peace was there. She saw me. She gave me an eye. She was like, that spiritual eye, like. She's assessing, like, who is discerning? Who is this taking my sister?
Yeah.
Yes, I need to know you well. Yeah. And it took time for her to really accept me because she was like, okay, I've heard a lot about rugby players and you play rugby and you're a Kenyan.
Yeah. Kenyan men.
Yes. So I don't know how sure you are with my sister, but we'll keep on praying. So as she was talking about the God factor, she took me there. And there were these girls who, yes, and they actually prayed for me. I was like, hey, okay. I even asked myself, am I really sure I'm getting this?
Hey, surrounded by the 24 elders.
Yes.
Yes, literally.
Yeah, so your answer was first God before you interrupted.
Yes.
She was telling us why you. Yeah, so it was clear from God.
Yeah, it was not like a clear answer, but also the peace. The peace that, not the peace the person, but the peace that came with the over time through the friendship, and then also getting to, without introducing now to family. Much as they were skeptical, but over time there was this peace. There was this peace that was there. Which, and then also I made that prayer. I was like, God, there's a place where people pray. It's like a prayer mountain. I even had to go there, and I prayed, oh God, if this is not from you, may you just find a way to just dissolve it. And everything else, everyone else was like dissolving, and he's the one who stayed over
the
time.
The prayer worked for the other guys.
Other guys. God stopped anyone else.
Yes. Talking about her taking me to her sisters, I can't forget that day.
Now this is family.
Yes, family.
Yeah.
Because
now this is now months later, right? Because now we had to come back. Now we're doing a bit of long distance.
Long distance. Yeah, we'll get into that shortly. So before night, we were just finished uni, so I was supposed to travel back to Kenya. Then she invited me over to her sister's place, and her sisters were there.
All 8 of them?
There were 5.
Oh.
Not all of them.
It was, I remember it was Hope.
I'm the middle.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Hope. It was, there was Juicy.
Okay, no names.
Just say the number.
Because I remember them. And they really gripped
There are about three or four. Three of them, actually. 3.
There were 4 plus 3. Now you 5.
No, there were 3 of them.
See, Juicy had stepped out that day.
There were,
Yes.
So the
Alson.
We know names.
I even forgotten some of the details, I'm sure.
Yes, because I have the details in my head because
they grilled you.
They did. I sat like, Rodah, I was sitting on the chair like this. Like,
what were they asking you?
Like, this is their sister.
Yes.
This is a Kenyan, and they're like, hey, now, tell us what you want with our sister.
Yes.
Okay, first serving Banti. That's her name at home. Give your guest some passion juice. What do you want with our sister? How serious are you with her?
Yes.
Like, I was seated on the edge.
That was really good.
On the edge of the chair, and they're like, "No, you're going back to Kenya. How sure are we that you're going to come back?"
Yes.
Like, I had to sell my manifesto and convince them. And I'm like, you guys, you're fresh out of campus. You've not even started working.
Yes.
What's the vision? Like, you want to marry her. You don't have a job.
Yes.
Like, they asked me some very hard
important questions.
Like, that's why I can't forget that day.
Yeah.
I can't forget what I ate. They are watching Grey's Anatomy. Yes, you see, that's how detailed.
Yeah,
it's
you
stuck,
remember
it's,
everything.
It's stuck in my head. Yes.
Then tell me about the long distance.
Well,
Now one is in Uganda, another one is in Kenya.
Yes.
How was that?
There's no WhatsApp. There's no Facebook.
Facebook had just started.
It has just started.
But I don't think we hadn't yet got on it.
No.
Yeah.
We didn't have it on phone because we didn't
phone, you
have
had to go to a
smartphone.
cyber.
Yeah, you had to go to a cyber.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was this.
You are doing
Zain
phone,
had the Club
phone
20.
calls.
Uh-huh.
We were doing the phone calls.
And phone calls.
Yeah, we had that the midnight thing. The one you load, and then you have unlimited talk time after midnight.
Yes.
That's what we used to do, and we used to talk. And I remember, by the grace of God, I started working. I got a very good job at Wrigley. Shout out to Wrigley. They really shaped who I am right now. I always tell guys, I did not work for Wrigley. I actually went to Wrigley University.
Oh.
Because the principles that the company stood by, the work ethic and the culture of the company, that is what built me as an individual, and that is what now helped me build my own agency using what I saw.
What you learned.
And learned from Wrigley for the 8 or 9 years that I was there. So I got a job at Wrigley, and the first thing I said after I got this job, I was like, I'm now going to be visiting her. Visiting her, not marry, visiting her in UG. So I had to plan my holidays, like make that long 12-hour trip. To actually, it was 14 hours because of the road. Back then, the roads were not that good. Travel to Kampala.
Yeah, I remember one of those days. He I don't know which one it was, the second or whatever, when he came to visit.
And it was
and then was it a surprise? I think I knew you were coming, but of course now he had to stay in a bit far from where I was staying. So when he came home. I was living with my parents. So my dad asked, "Hey, someone does not come all the way just to eat food.
Why are you here?
The dad had already seen.
Yes.
Doesn't come all the way just to eat food. I was like, okay. We were not yet ready for that conversation at that time. So of course now it made us think, okay, what are we going to tell people about the reason for this long distance? And it made us think. So the long distance was I think it made us grow closer together. Because of the communication. And then also we are more expressive. I think we are more expressive during that time, because you would speak what you're going through, you'd say what your intentions are, you express yourself more. And like, I think if someone is closer to you, you just see them and you just hang out, and you may not express yourself as much
because they are there anyway.
Yes, they're there. You'll see them again tomorrow anyway.
Where did the wedding happen?
So we had two.
First is considered one, because traditionally,
for us as Kenyans, right now is when we are having the flashy rurashios.
Yes.
But back then in 2012, we had the rurashios that we used to go to from 2010, 2011 were not as flamboyant as what we saw in Uganda. So when our relatives came to Entebbe that day, on the 14th of April 2012.
That was the introduction.
It
is the traditional marriage.
The traditional, it's called kuhinjira. And guys were like, yo, see, this is already a wedding.
Yes.
Because the setup, the tents, like dancers, like cake.
They were overdoing it.
Yeah. So
according to our standards.
Yeah.
And imagine, because that was 2012. And now, I don't know what you would say.
Because back then for us in Kenya, it was not as big as it is right now. Yeah. That's why we consider it as two weddings. So then we did it at Entebbe, the traditional wedding. And then on the 21st, we did now the church wedding here in Nairobi, Kenya. Yes. You didn't share about the story of how when your coming over now after the introduction, how the bus left you and you had to chase the bus with your suitcase.
After marriage?
No. After down the tradition.
After the
now
traditional.
she had to cross over so that we now start doing the plans for the
Kenyan wedding.
For the Kenyan wedding, yeah.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a highlight, really.
It's a highlight for me. It was funny.
Really?
It was a funny. Yeah, it was like
Now it is funny.
Yeah, now it is funny. Okay, because you know,
because
it
of like you left home in style.
It was more like, well, from my point of view, it was more like I am like literally living. So I had to do a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like literally relocating
To Kenya,
my life.
yeah.
So I'm moving my life. So in that process of doing all those things, going to the forex, imagine, as in like you're moving yourself. So in all that chaos, I delayed, I think, by a few minutes, and I think they still leave on time.
They keep, as in, if
They
it's
still keep time.
5:30,
It is 5:30.
this is the bus starts moving,
Yeah. So
regardless whether you are in it or not.
or not.
Yeah.
and of course you've already paid.
Paid.
Yes.
So with my car ticket, I go, the bus was really good, and I jump on the border. I was like, hey, this was serious determination.
Yeah, it's like we're going to get
Imagine if I
married.
just called and imagine if I just called and said, you know what, the bus has
I'll
left
be
me. I'm
left
not
by the
coming.
bus.
I'm not coming. So we can't do the wedding anymore. Imagine.
It would have come for you.
It would have come for me.
What would you do differently if you were to wed again?
Nothing, man.
Ah.
Like for me, I don't know about you, but nothing. Because I mean, you only get married once, and it's the experience that you go through that shapes you as a
Yeah.
man. Because there are disappointments, of course, and then there are also some great joyous moments where you see people really coming out and standing with you.
Yeah.
And it really gets to shape your line of thought in life of how to support and how not to support
Oh,
people.
yeah.
So for me, there's nothing different
You
I
would
would
do
do.
different.
And what I really loved from the Entebbe community, shout out to you, Entebbe community, is how they stood with the parents. Like they really, for the traditional wedding, they really supported their friend.
Their friend.
And that is why for me, loyalty, when it comes to friendship, I don't
key.
play around with it. Yes, because I've seen how friends can cover you and how you can cover friends. Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would do differently?
Yeah, well, as a woman, of course, for your wedding, there are things that you say, I wish I had done this differently. I wish we had done that. But at the end of the day, the event was just what it was, really. And much as you would add or take away this and that, it doesn't like really change the marriage, really. It was just the event, and that is what it was. And so, yeah, I'm grateful that everything and everyone who came together to make it happen, they played their role, and God used them in that way. Back home, much as you had said, I come from like a community, and the way I've seen my mom, because most of them are her friends, really. I'm like, I pray that I can get at least a tenth of that in my life. And it also, makes you think about the choices and the decisions that you're making for yourself in your marriage, and also for the ones who cover you as well. Because most times we say it's the two of you in the marriage.
Yes.
However, there are also the other influences around you that can make or break you.
Yeah.
And also who cover you as well. So that is what was like the foundation for us, like coming up. And now trying to create our own like little community. We're still building. I feel like we are just starting, really.
Just starting.
Your first year of marriage, how was it? Now
Our
you're
first
living
year.
together with a Ugandan, you're living together with a Kenyan.
We're not really looking at ourselves like Uganda and Kenya.
There was no cultural shocks.
Not really. The cultures are not that diverse.
And then the beautiful thing is, I studied and I spent most of my life in Uganda, so it wasn't that of a shock to me. But the shock to me was now there's a whole human being living with me. You know when you go out as a bachelor, if you eat for our South Africans, if you eat braai, you find braai out there. You eat it, or Kenya, you find tura there.
You eat
it
and go sleep.
and go sleep. But then now, the first weekend, like I love fries. I found myself sitting in a fast food joint eating fries and chicken, and I was like, oh shoot,
I'm married. There's someone else.
Someone at home. So I got home and there was food at home.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'd already eaten the fries. So, but there was food at home.
You have to eat the food at home.
Yes. Yeah. So that was.
So it was the normal marriage adjustments,
Yes.
not necessarily cultural.
Yes.
Not really, yeah. Because of that, him spending years in Uganda.
In Uganda.
Yeah.
So,
Then also that first year for me was more of now trying to get to know her better. You know, you've done almost 2.5 years long distance.
Yeah.
And out of those 2.5 years, the time that you get to see each other, in a year we could see each other twice.
Ooh.
Yes.
When you got a job, you said you'll be visiting every weekend.
But sometimes my job was so demanding.
Oh.
So that's why I had to plan my
holidays.
my holiday. So whenever there was a long holiday, that's when I used to make the visit. And then it was not a cheap trip. Yes, because you have to consider where you're gonna sleep, what you're gonna eat, the tickets. Yeah. So yeah. What was I saying?
The first year.
The first year was
You're
me trying
to
get to know her. Yeah. And just understanding who she is as a person, what she likes as a
But
person.
he also did mention in his first year he was not working in Nairobi. And I was staying in Nairobi.
Yes.
So it was still kind of long distance. So the transition wasn't that big because he would come every weekend. He was in Meru, which is like 8 hours away.
Yes.
For those who don't know. It's about 8 hours away. So for me, I think it was a blessing in disguise, really, because imagine like you're with each other constantly and yet you've not been that close before. I think it was God easing us into
into it.
You know, in the first year, she even used to go to the second room to change.
Why? No.
Babes, you never used to like undress up on belly.
No.
Yeah, come on, for real.
For real, babes, no.
Yeah, you never used to do that.
Nope.
Like when I want to steal those two.
No.
She doesn't remember that part.
I don't remember that part. I don't remember that part. That's what you were thinking, probably, but that wasn't the intention.
Or maybe the clothes were in the other room.
Yeah.
That's
the other room was like the wardrobe.
That's what you want to go with. Okay.
We have agreed to disagree. You need to sort that out after this. And get.
But for me, I thought she was
shy.
She was shy.
No.
I was like, hey, yo, I'm your husband. Feel free. You can.
So you want her to go get clothes from the other room and
come and dress from there. I mean.
You follow me.
Yes, thank you.
You follow me. So in the adjusting stage of marriage, what are some of the things that you started realizing? How long did you take before you now start living together fully?
It was a year, and it was hard because I was really trying to get a transfer back to Nairobi because knowing that this is our first time in Kenya, and we were staying in Rongai, so like there are no close relatives around. So I was really not concentrating at work. So I'd even asked my boss to transfer me back to Nairobi, but there was no slot. I asked the HR. So what I did, it got to a point where I said, you know what? And that was, I resigned.
Oh.
Yes, I wrote a resignation letter to my supervisor, and I told them, you know what? I've been asking for months and months to come back to Nairobi because...
Never knew why.
Yes, and it's really affecting me. So I wrote a resignation letter, and I was called by the HR a week later, and I was like, no, you don't have to make that drastic action because you are valuable to us as an individual in this company.
Yeah.
Just be patient. We will get something.
Yes.
And something opened up 2 weeks later. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I resigned, but I didn't have a job. Like I was not going.
Don't do that at home.
No, yeah,
in this
don't.
economy.
Yeah, I did it out of love
advisable.
because I mean it's not
Even
advisable.
out of love.
Yeah. But I for me,
He did it for you.
I did it for her because I was like, man, no, there's no way.
Yeah.
I was not at peace at all. So when that breakthrough came in 2013 towards the end, I was like, whew, hallelujah. Yeah. So yeah.
Now you are seeing each other every day. How is that working out?
Oh, we bought a dog. Remember Fluffy? And she was, having a dog is more or less like having a child, like a puppy, like
a pet.
Taking care of it, like feeding it, vaccinating it. And that dog was pooping all over the house.
No, it was a little puppy. You know how puppies are. You have to train them and all that. Yeah, so it was, I think, like just a training for the baby stage. So you got the
dog before you came to Nairobi?
No, yeah. After I came back to Nairobi, we got that dog. And it was a beautiful dog. But she ended up, you gave it out. Because it was
to make room for babies.
Because it was, she said,
oh well, anyway.
It was too much work.
At that time, I didn't have that time to take care of it and train it, because it needed training, really. Because if you've not trained, and it was still a little puppy, so it would have time to adjust to whoever got it. So that was it. And we've never gotten another pet since.
Now you have children.
Because pets are pets. They're something.
They're a lot of work,
they're work.
Yeah, so
they're part of the family.
So talking about children also, pets are part of the family, because I think Fluffy prepared us into parenthood.
But now you are seeing each other every day. The dog is out. There's now the two of you. How is that working for you?
After now we moved back to...
You're both in Nairobi, right?
Yeah.
I think it was good. There was no... The initial stage is like you're excited to be around each other.
Yes.
You're now seeing each other more. I think before, when he would come back from the long travel, I would be excited to go out and do stuff. But he's tired. He wants to stay in and rest. So now at least you have more time to each other, and you can engage in more activities.
I tried to teach you how to drive, but it only lasted for like 5 minutes.
No, that doesn't happen. Just take your wife to driving school.
Driving school was better because of course most couples know that normally doesn't.
We try to bond.
It's rare.
Bond with
it's rare for couples to actually go through the whole driving, as in like for them to teach each other and be able to learn through your spouse. It's very rare. It's very rare. Yeah, so that happened, and then it just made room for us to get closer to each other.
And the babies, you're introducing the babies now.
Yeah, now the babies, the pet Fluffy prepared us for parenthood, because we used to sometimes end our meetings, our engagements with our friends because of the dog at home. You're like, no, it's time to free the dog.
We have to
go. We can't stay any longer. So now you see, now that also prepares you into you have
in a small way.
So now we were also intentional about getting our first child. And as much as we were praying, we said, okay, if God gives us a child immediately, we'll still be grateful, but would love to know each other better. And deeper before
we get the
children. So it took us about 3 years before we got our first child
intentionally.
Because children, when you get children, they change everything, because now the attention shifts and the focus now comes to the babies. And if you guys did not intimately connect, or if you did not get to know each other better, along the line there'll be cracks. It will be hard to patch up, or it will take a long time to patch up. So it's always better for you guys to connect and know each other's personalities, what they love, what ticks them off. So once the babies come, it's just an addition.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the focus will change to them. Once they get married and leave home, you guys continue where you left off. Yeah. So we got our firstborn in 2015.
How was the pregnancy journey?
For the first one was easy. It was smooth.
It was an easy pregnancy.
It was a very easy pregnancy.
Yeah.
It was. I think that was like, I don't know if someone I think I once had someone describe their pregnancy as being. Did she say juicy, or it was like like a yummy kind of, as in like you eat what you like. I was even working out. I worked out for like the first trimester. I was
jogging.
Yeah, it was an easy pregnancy. It was easy really.
And for me, I always go into. I don't know. It's not a must for you as a man to do it, but I always go into the labor ward and into the delivery room with my wife. I mean, you started the project.
And you didn't faint.
You should finish it.
Yes.
I didn't faint, but the reason why I do that is I want to be the first one to receive my children as a father and as a priest, and just speak a word of prophecy and blessing over them. You know, as you welcome them into the world. Yeah. So that's what I did. At the hospital, I received the young man, prayed over him. My mother-in-law was she was very supportive, and she still is. She came. She flew all the way from Uganda. Came and she checked into the delivery room with me. So as the baby came, he was a bit blue because he had the placenta was on his neck, so they were trying to
the cord.
So that they tried to do some suctions and stuff just to bring him back to. So my mother-in-law freaked out and she ran out. She's like, "Oh, what is happening?" So I was like, "No, we've prayed.
Yeah,
all is well." Yeah, and I gave.
How was it for you?
For me,
it was easy. Even the delivery was good.
The delivery was a bit long, but not too long. Thankfully, of course, my mom was around, which kind of helped. Because even when they were wheeling me to the delivery room, I was like, "Don't leave me!" I was constantly holding her hand. So thank you, mommy, for that. So it was quite easy. Easy, I would say.
And you were okay with your husband being there? You know, some women also don't want them.
I needed to see them there. I would have freaked out. I'm grateful, by the way, because some women don't have that support system.
Yeah, and some don't want. I don't want you to see me like that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, that is where now. How can I put this? That's how deep you know your love is for your wife, and that's how, as a wife, you know how deep the love for your husband is for you. Because I mean, he sees you in your worst. You know what takes place in the delivery, or like what happens. Like
it's embarrassing.
It is, but now I mean, we made a vow.
Yeah.
We made a vow at the altar for better and for worse. And, so we're not just by each other's side when things are rosy. That's the valley moment where you stand by her and tell her, you know what, when you turn by your side and you look, you'll always find me there. Yeah, because I was holding her hand, tell her, push.
Push what?
Yeah.
The second baby?
The second one.
How
it was like a 5 year.
5 year gap. Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 year gap.
Intentionally again?
No, that one was not intentional. We were really now excited into parenthood. So after the boy turned 3, we were like, you know what?
It's time.
It's time. But then we tried, you know. We try and try. Nothing's happening. And you start asking yourself, am I firing blanks?
Oh, thank God you asked yourself.
Yeah.
You know, many people point at the way.
You ask yourself, you're like, deep down inside, you know, you don't go and tell her, you know, the boys are. Yeah. So we had to pray. We called our passes, and they really stood with us. It was more of our second born is a a blessing, and she's a miracle from God, because we prayed intentionally for her to come. And our boy started seeing her, like, I see my baby sister.
Oh.
Yes.
Like a year before.
A year before. And he kept on talking about it.
Sister,
Yes.
not just baby.
Yes.
Sister.
Yes. So that was more of a confirmation from God. And then when the baby came, COVID hit. So
we conceived
during COVID, like when she conceived during COVID. And then we went into a lockdown. It was one of the most toughest pregnancies, I must say. And she will also say her part. Because during that time, I also got COVID. And it almost took me out. Like, took me out, literally. Like the first wave, the first wave. Yes, I was almost like bouncing. And God is the one who saved me. Like, I was down for a whole 3 weeks. Couldn't eat, couldn't move.
Oxygen and all that?
No, I wasn't. I was not on oxygen. Yeah.
I have a gift for your teen daughter. Sorry to interrupt the conversation. My name is Flora Kidula, and I present to you this book for my beautiful teen girl. It's a gift challenging the teen girl to have godly values. It talks about many issues that they go through and inspires them to be better teens. See details on the screen of how you can get it. Thank you.
And then one thing about the pregnancy, during that time, when I was hit by that attack, the COVID attack, she started bleeding, like every day. So we went to the hospital, and this doctor says we have to do a procedure, or else we terminate.
How far are we?
Like
it was
7 months.
Six going into the 7th month. Yeah.
What procedure?
I didn't even go into the details, because once he's mentioned, I was like, hey, I don't want to hear. This is not the kind of news I want to hear.
Yeah.
So anyway, we it was a prayerful journey, really. And pastors stood with us, and we prayed through that time. And it was a very lonely journey, being COVID.
Yes.
No one comes to see you. No one comes to,
Even scared to go to hospital.
Yes, once they hear you're sick, they're even scared to come.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was kind of lonely, but still there was peace. There was peace through that season. Yeah.
So you didn't go through the procedure?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Oh.
We didn't because we prayed. We were like, no. We because the doctor was saying he has to like get in and do some stitching. What you are like, no. So we prayed. We asked God, no, we are not going to. And the bleeding just stopped.
Yeah.
But we were still going to the hospital to just confirm the bleeding miraculously stopped.
Yeah.
Then when the time to deliver, I was completely healed from COVID.
Oh, amen.
Yeah. So the time to deliver came. We went to hospital, and again, the labor was long.
It actually took long to to get to that intense stage. I think we kind of came early. It was just that there was a lot of bleeding.
We came.
I don't know if this is too much for your audience to hear.
No, it's
this
not.
is a marriage show.
All right.
I know it's not.
Nothing can be too much for
All right. Yeah, so it was kind of intense. That's why we needed to go to the hospital in terms of the bleeding.
We had gone for a checkup. Then
because there was bleeding.
There was bleeding, and the gyna said, you are.
I'm already dilated.
You're already dilated.
That was just 2 centimeters.
Just 2 centimeters. So the gyna said, you guys, I hope you have your bag in the car, because you guys are not going back home.
Yeah.
So thank God, her sister, and her family is very supportive. Every time we get a child, her mom or her sister, either of them will have to come.
One of
them has to come. So her sister had already come prior. So I just called her and I told her, you know what? Us guys are not coming home tonight. The docs have said the baby is almost coming. So she was there now with the firstborn.
Yeah.
So now I tell you, that was one long journey. So because they had to like now put the
Induce.
Before they induce, they put the tablet.
That tablet.
The tablet is the induction.
It's the induction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because no, you remember that one refused, and then
Yes,
they put out
that
the one for the.
Those are all inductions.
Those are all.
'Cause now that-
That's why we don't allow you guys to come.
Those are all
I mean-
inductions.
But it's so interesting to get this information from him.
It's important for dudes, and I
know.
think let me talk to the men here.
Yes, please.
And fathers to be. It's important for you to accompany your wife, of course, seek her consent to the labor ward, so that you understand the pains of motherhood.
Oh yeah.
Before now, you get to talk nasty to her. Before you get to hit her, to the ones who hit their wives. Understand the sacrifices that she goes through to give birth to your daughter and your son. I mean, when you get into a labor ward and you see what a woman goes through, you get a different kind of respect and honor for women, because motherhood is a gift. I mean, this is someone who's giving life to someone. I mean, treasure that person, man. As in, she's gone to great depths and lengths to sire the next generation.
For you.
For you.
Yeah. Because they'll take his name.
Yeah. And then after that, she puts on weight. I mean, men need to know
They
this.
need to know.
The men need to know this.
The Rodah that was married is not the same
It's
one
not
now.
the same one now.
After having a baby.
After 6 years.
Because I mean, you see that big head of yours. Your son also has that big head of yours,
Imagine.
and that head has to pass through somewhere.
Yeah.
So as it's passing through somewhere, a tear happens. It's
stitched.
and it's stitched. The reason I'm
The
saying
good
this
news
is
it is.
men need to understand this,
Yeah.
and I thank God the ones who do that, so that you can value, treasure, and honor your wife more. To see what the lengths and breadth that you go to deliver and give your children.
If you witness the induction,
Yeah, because we are there.
for me, my firstborn, when I was told I'm going to be induced, in my mind, I never thought it can be a tablet.
Yes.
Why? You know? And when I saw the tablet, I thought I'm gonna
Swallow it.
No one can prepare you for some things. Hey.
I think the second one was, I don't know why it was so intense. And if there's a way in which they would minimize the checking, that is what sent me. Oh my
The
goodness.
inserting of the she got so like she was like, man, these guys are inserting too many fingers. As in, can they just stop?
Oh, they're checking, and then they get there, then they tell you you're 3.
Yeah.
They go back, you're still 3. I'm like, stop checking.
Stop checking, because at this point it is too intense, because the pains are there, of course.
Yes.
What are they? The contractions.
The contractions.
The contractions are there, and you have to manage that pain.
And it's also very uncomfortable.
It's very
and embarrassing.
And then we were told now we need to walk. Like, don't sit. Let me use the Kenyan name, the matron. Usiashe akaya hapo temeheni ndio mtoto hashuke.
Like, they need to walk around so that the baby goes down. Right?
Yeah. So we walked. We walked the corridors. I mean, we checked in at 7:30 p.m. at the hospital. This was at 3 in the morning. We're still doing those walks in the hospital. And just before we did the walks, something amazing happened. When we did the scan, the baby was breached. You remember?
Yeah, actually, when we had just come in, we had done the scan and we were supposed to be prepped for CS.
Oh.
Yeah,
so as we're sitting waiting for now the doctor to come in, because the midwife, was it the midwife or the nurse?
It was the
I
nurse.
said we now need a doctor to come in and do the.
They got the. I refused to sign. Man, please. Let the Holy Spirit guide you.
Yes.
And then
Don't say Edgar refused even name.
Don't say that it's me who said it. And also talk to your gyna. And thank God our gyna was delayed. He was performing another procedure. So they brought these papers, and they're like, you need to sign a release that your wife will be willed to the CS so that the baby can be removed, because the baby is in distress. And they're like, as we wait for him to come, because it's delaying, because I said he'll be here by midnight. So I've backtracked a bit. This is I was talking about 3 in the morning, but now let's come back to
midnight.
So you are like, he will come at midnight. So you're like, before he comes, I will not sign. We will pray.
Yes.
So we call our mother-in-law, we call our pastor, and we were praying. And I remember the song that we played, Judy K's Something More Than Gold. I mean, because at that point, there's a point where it gets where prayer, you can hardly pray.
Yeah.
So you just let the song minister to you. And I know probably Judy K will be watching this. I tell you, that song, that was the only prayer we could make at that time. Because it was saying something more than gold.
Yeah.
I've got something more than gold. If all I have is Jesus, I've got something more than gold.
Yeah.
And those are the lyrics that we just kept on. And the song was on repeat, and we were putting it on the tummy as the song plays. And then there was another one, the Uganda one. I can't remember it. Those are the two songs that we kept on playing.
We're just playing worship.
On worship, on repeat. And you're like, this baby will turn. And the nurses...
And I literally felt her turning, like... You can feel when there's movement.
Yes.
The nurses and the midwives thought we were mad. They were like, these guys, they really wanted to beat me up. I'm like, I said the doctor is coming at midnight.
Yeah.
When he comes and the baby will not have turned,
We'll make
I
that
will
decision.
sign and we will, because the theater had already been prepared.
Yeah.
So the gyna came at 12:05. We went down to do the scan, and guess what?
The baby had turned.
Yes, the guy did it like 3 times. Like, no, wait. We even have those photos with us up there. The photos from the scan. It's like, but wait, see, this is the baby here. This is the baby. I'm like, yeah.
I think even before we had to go down to go for the scan. When the doctor came and checked, of course, you can tell the positioning of the head as you touch. He tells us like, but this baby is in the right position. He's ready to come. I was like, but for confirmation, just do the scan.
Let's just check, because we did a scan an hour later before the doctor came. The baby was still in the same position, and they're like, you know what, guys, please. The
I'm
baby
sure
is gonna get
for those
distressed.
who you've carried, it's not that doesn't happen in minutes or in seconds for a baby to turn. Some women can take a week.
Yeah.
Weeks.
It takes weeks.
So yeah.
Hey,
that was a little
long
miracle.
process.
Yeah, the baby came the following day. Yeah, the following day in the morning, and
with a loud cry.
With a loud cry.
The sister we have been told about. Yeah.
And God gave me a daughter through my wife. I mean, I now have 3 amazing women. Actually, 4 amazing women in my life. My mom, my mother-in-law, my wife, and my daughter.
You have 8 sister-in-laws.
But the closest ones to me are these 4 amazing women in my life. And, the one who now took it all from them, and I know sometimes my wife gets mad at this, is my daughter. She calls her daddy's twin, because
she looks like you.
She looks like me, and her bond a lot, like fathers and their girls.
And their girls.
Yeah, so I also
character too.
I also honor.
She's loud. She's really loud. Oh my god. Sometimes you have to tell her quiet.
It's okay.
I tell her, you when we're in the house, use your inside voice. So I honor my wife for giving me a daughter and a son too. But
wow. So. How have the children changed your marriage? They affected your marriage.
They brought a lot of joy.
It just makes you grow up in your head as a man. Before it was just you providing for your wife, but then now, as these kids keep on growing, their demands and responsibilities, you have to now make sure that you meet them. So you have to your alarm doesn't wake you up. You wake up before your alarm, because you're like,
you have 2 alarms.
I have now an extra mouth to feed. And let me talk to a couple that is also believing God for the fruit of the womb. Trust in God's timing. And as you wait for that, have a deeper love for each other, get to know each other more, communicate more. Because you see, children don't come in between. Children come by your side as a couple. You should not let children be the determining factor of your marriage, because before they came, you are still together, and when they finally leave home to go and get married, you will still be together. So just as you wait for God to work it out, learn to love each other more, take out each other for dates, communicate, pray.
Yes.
And then when the babies come, they'll find you guys together.
And they are more healthy when the two of you are healthy, right?
Yes.
Your side of the story. You know, sometimes the mothers go through a lot with the children. You know, the one running around them. Are you a working mom?
There've been seasons. I've had seasons of working and seasons of fully being with the children. Yeah. So for me, it has made me like, most people might say it's a bad thing, but not to put myself first. I know that there are these little humans who are depending on me.
On you fully.
Like I have to be okay so that they can be okay. Yeah. So for me, it has brought out that motherly nature in me, because before I would be thinking about what I need to do for me to be good. But I have to think about what I need to do for me and also for them. Yeah, whether it's finances or taking care of them. Yeah, so it has done that for me.
To put them first in everything.
To put them first.
So if someone is watching you and they are giving up on marriage, what would you advise them? A woman is like, I'm done, because marriage is a lot of work.
Marriage is a lot of work. I would tell them to like first go back to the reason why. Why? Let them go back to why. And also, marriage is God's design, really, because when he calls us his bride, and he's coming back for us as his bride, and it's just a replica of what we are as a church also. So it's not a human design. It is something that God purposed. So when you have committed and made that decision, because sometimes someone may think, I didn't really fully make the decision, but by the time you say they do, you have fully made
the decision.
Yeah, you have fully made the decision. So to go back to the question, what would I advise someone
who has given up on their marriage or in the institution? A Gen Z, I was told not to categorize. Some Gen Zs love marriage. Someone who doesn't feel like marriage is worth it. Yeah.
I don't know what they would be saying worth, or what the issue could be, or if it's a storm in your life, or whatever the reason could be. As I had said, it's a design of God, and because it's a design of God, you're definitely going to have the enemy who is going to come in to break that, because in everything that you see is a design of God. The devil automatically wants to disrupt it. So he'll bring those storms. Those storms happen. But what would you do? Just last week I was looking at the book. I think there's in Matthew and in Mark, where Jesus, after he was with the disciples, and he goes to the mountain to pray, and then they now have to cross to the other side, but in a boat. And when they're there, there's that storm that comes, and it's like the word says the winds are boisterous, and they are really struggling, and in my imagination, where he is, because the word says he sees them struggling against the boisterous winds, as in he sees. But it wasn't until they called on to him that he came. So I don't know, because I'm thinking the mountain is over there, the sea is like a distance. Being the God that he is, I don't know if he teleported or something, but I like to make the Bible real for me and try to see what was really happening. But the word says he saw. He saw. So God sees you in that situation. Once the winds and the storms are there, the enemy is the one causing those. Just call on the creator of all this. Call on the name of Jesus. Once they called on Jesus, the winds and the storm which was really the winds are causing the storm. The winds ceased. So he sees you in that situation. He knows that you're not alone. You who is trying to give up on the marriage and say, this is not for me, this is too much work, I don't think I really signed up for this, I don't know if I really made the right decision. The Lord sees it. It's his ultimate plan, and he knows what you're going through. All he needs is for you to call on to him, and call for the storms and for the winds to cease. And whatever it is that is blowing you and causing you to have all this doubt, it will cease for you in your situation.
Amen.
Yeah.
That was a full sermon. A full sermon. Let me ask, what would you have done better in your first maybe 3 years of marriage?
The first 3
Looking
years.
back, what do you think you would have done better?
Wow. You know, for us, the distance and everything,
Oh, yeah.
we didn't really have that much time to spend together.
Oh, yeah.
So I wish we had really taken that more time to spend together. It would also boost, because marriage, there are a couple of things about, I've forgotten one, but it's communication and the foundation of marriage, communication.
Communication, sacrifice, forgiveness, understanding.
Okay, one of those many.
One of those.
Yes, but if you have that as your foundation, and for us, as you have asked specifically, knowing that we started off long distance, we didn't really invest that much in our communication. So that's probably the one area that I would have done better. Yeah.
What about you?
Same. Just because we really never had that time to bond because of the distance. But thank God that we're now here. We have a lifetime together to get to know each other, because the babies are growing, and within a short time they've been university and they've been living their own lives in their own homes. Because in marriage, every day is a learning experience. She gets to learn new things about me, I get to learn new things about her. So in as much as I would have changed that time that we needed to have to spend together, I still thank God that we are here in this time and space, because we still have the time now to get to know each other far much better. And in an intimate way, back then we couldn't as in
Even don't look at me. That's the two of you. You need to understand.
I'm saying back then. I mean, right now we can know each other intimately.
We've been knowing each other.
Yes,
you have children.
Yes, as married people. Back then, I mean, the marriage bed should not be defiled.
Yeah.
So
We also couldn't do that. Also, knowing the foundation. Also, there's something I'm grateful to God for. Much as we had the long distance, much as he's coming over, and
they used to come to Uganda. Nothing happened.
Nothing.
Let me tell you.
You didn't want to do anything.
Nothing.
I was told by one guy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, when I was now in UG.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we went to campus with this guy. Dude, you have a very pretty wife.
Yes.
If you don't make her pregnant, someone will make her pregnant so that she has your child. You've marked your territory.
Yes.
I was like, I'll not do that.
Oh.
If someone takes her, then she was not mine. But if she's willing to wait for me, then she's mine.
Oh.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I was very intentional about not going to compromise.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not on offer. It's not like
it's not there.
For sure,
you will enjoy it.
It won't end. It's never ending.
Yeah. So
and even if you try someone else, as in like, I don't know if there's like, if you got to, it's like a buffet and you choose this and this and this and this, does it satisfy you more than the other? It's all the same. You still eat and get full. So
okay.
So from my perspective, as in like, I'll go back to the Bible, because it's my reference point, really.
Yeah.
Just as Joseph knew what it would cost him,
if he messed up,
yes, he knew what it would cost you. Because most times people think a man would say, there's this girl in my house, she's a housemaid. My wife is probably busy or is for a selfish,
in the mood.
Yeah, which would be really selfish. Let me just do
That's
this.
Destiny. That's a destiny destroyer.
It's a destiny destroyer, because a man is carrying seed. You are carrying your seed, and you have a lot that you're carrying. So if you go placing it all around, you're cutting down your glory and where God would probably take you. You're cutting down your destiny. And we've had, of course, a lot of has been revealed in this year about how the devil uses that to truncate men's destiny. So I would just advise you, just know what you carry. and know your value and your worth, that you can't just go and place your gold and put it in something that it's not worth, you know. You're reducing your worth and you're cutting your
honor God.
Yes, honor God, and He will honor you.
Amen. Amen. Why are marriages breaking right now, in your opinion?
In my opinion, here's the thing, and I'll add one thing to that question. Why do married people cheat? Because marriages are breaking because each couple are cheating, right? Infidelity, sleeping around. That's one cause. That's one of the primary, other than finances and lifestyle. But that is one of the primary causes. Yes. Cheating, infidelity. And the reason why it happens is they don't cheat because they're not in love with their I'm going somewhere with this. They don't cheat because they're not in love with their significant other. Yeah. They cheat because there's something that this person used to do that they no longer do. But then there's someone in the office who does that. So they fall in love with that idea. Because you see, if you used to call your husband or your wife babe, you used to
pumpkin,
pamper him or her, and then one thing or the other, life happened and things changed. You know, once you start doing that, a vacuum is created. A vacuum is created, and then he or she starts craving and desiring for that.
But that's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse, Rodah, but this is just from observation. Yeah. So once this vacuum is created, because they're craving for it, they're craving to hear those sweet words of affirmation. They're craving to hear them being told that they're looking nice. And then there's this girl or this man in the office who does that. So they fall in love with that idea, and before you know it, oops, chublu, it has happened. So, I mean,
I have many things to say.
You have many things to say, but that's
yes, it is actually a very big factor.
Because you see, keep on dating.
Oh yeah.
I mean, do things that you used to do when you were pursuing her as a man. Because these are the things that would her to you. Like you took her out on dates, on movie nights. You bought her gifts. That after you got married to her, why did you stop doing that to her? It doesn't mean that she stopped craving for them, or it does not mean that he stopped craving for that kind. Because these are the things that they made these people fall in love with you. Yeah. So one thing is, understand the love language of your spouse, of your wife and your husband. Number 2, communication is very key. If you feel aggrieved, if you feel hurt, wait for the opportune or the right time and communicate and tell them, yo, babe, where we are going, I don't feel like we're going towards the right direction. Please, let's correct this if we can. And then have someone who you are accountable to. Like, talk to your pastor, talk to your best couple. Your best couple are not just there to sign that marriage certificate. The reason why you chose them is for them to advise and guide you on how to, if you're going through a challenge within your marriage, you go to them as a couple and tell them, yo, we are struggling. You see, the challenge I have with most marriages, especially the new ones, guys are like, let's not share our problems with the public. So, and you see, that's where the enemy is having a field day.
Well, don't tell everyone.
No,
however,
not everyone. They're accountable to your pastor and your. It could be your pastor or your best couple. You go and tell them, because you see, once you open it up to them, they're able to advise you as the Holy Spirit leads, and they're able to pray for you or with you, because at that time you are vulnerable and you are weak, and that's where the devil now attacks the most. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Now you're making sense. Now the addition made when you said don't stop dating, I got it, because I was like, if my husband is not doing the things he used to do, maybe I am the reason he has stopped.
Yeah, because I mean, you used to dress as in you used to do makeup. You used to dress like,
used to be kind.
And then after you get married,
used to be understanding.
After you get married, no offense, but you put on that oversized equity shirt, and he has a loan in equity.
At night.
At night, do you think? No offense, equity? Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Do you think?
If I'm putting on an oversized equity T-shirt.
And he has a loan at the bank.
Yeah.
Do you think he's gonna look at you twice? It will be reminding him of the loan that he has.
Take me out and buy for me the things you want me to wear.
Communicate. Here's the thing, Rodah. Men are not mind readers. Communicate.
I tell him.
Yes. You see, the thing is with women, women assume that men know or understand what they want.
We assume on one side. On the other side, we say so many times until we give up.
You say, you start with a longer route. Just say, hey, babe, you know what?
I don't have clothes.
You remember that dress that you used to love?
Yeah.
Like, I want more.
It doesn't fit me anymore.
It doesn't fit me anymore. Just be. I mean, he's your husband.
Or make an inspiration Pinterest board and say, this is like my vibe right now. This is what I'm feeling right now.
This is what I'm feeling.
And then you could share the pictures as well, because I know most times
the thumbs up on.
Yes.
Nice.
They just nice. I like this.
And you see, I don't know if it's the case for you or the case for most married men out there. My wife sends me a lot of. She slides in my DMs
with reels. True.
Instagram, TikTok. If I don't see it on Instagram, she'll go on TikTok and send it there.
I'll send the link on WhatsApp.
I'll send the link on WhatsApp.
I saw.
Just check this out. Check this out.
Yes.
So that's how they. She sends
and I
hints.
saw a meme which was saying that adulting in marriage is sending your partner reels.
Yes.
Because that's like, he's going to be spending a lot of time
on his phone.
Yes, so he might as well see it there. So I'm not constantly telling you.
Communicate. And then because marriages are working. You see, right now, the world and the enemy is glorifying infidelity and marriages that are not working.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, just like Elijah was told, is it Elijah or Elisha? The ones who are with us are many than the ones who are
against us.
Yeah, so the marriages that are working are more than the ones that are not working.
Why are they quiet?
They're not quiet because the ones that are being glorified are the ones that are not working. So, like you doing this show, this is a step towards the right direction to show guys, marriage works. And,
look at them, 12 years.
And people are thriving in marriage. So once we start telling that story, it becomes, the notion now changes. Because when you listen to radio in the morning, talking about this person cheats. When you go to TikTok, right now there's a trend going on here in Kenya called nimegongewa na sio mlango.
It's so sad.
You see, now they are promoting cheating and infidelity. You see, that is what
and we laugh
and people laugh, but it's a subtle agenda being pushed by the enemy. So even us, and thank God, Rodah, you said yes to this, because God is using you to show the world that there are actually marriages that marriages are working out here. Yeah. So as they push the Nagongewa narrative, you push the narrative. Marriage works. Yeah, it's as simple as that. So let us not be quiet, but let us go out there and in our churches, in our circles, in our communities,
neighborhoods.
Let's talk about marriages that are working. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And let people see us, and whatever we say is exactly what they see.
They see.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. You have a version of why marriages are failing?
I think he's covered it quite well. But just to add, if you're associating yourself with things that are not going to elevate or improve your marriage, and you're entering into agreement with certain things like what he's talked about, that trend. Once you laugh about it, you're in agreement already. Once you're sharing it with someone, you're in agreement already. But some things we may take for granted, but let me tell you, social media and everything, it is not just social media. It is something that you partner with through what you're clicking on, what you're liking. it kind of aligns with you, even in your mentality and what you're thinking. You already get into agreement that now I have liked this. This is something I'm already agreeing with. When I go out there, that is now what I'm going to also engage in. So what you're associating yourself with, whether it's online or in real life, your friends and the company that you're keeping, eventually will now become your identity. So just watch what you're watching, watch what you're engaging with and what you're in alignment with.
And think about what you're thinking about.
Yeah, because you may think that the devil is this big boogeyman, but he's been here for thousands of years, and he's very subtle. He's very subtle in the way he will come into your relationship. And it will be that one thing and then another thing and another thing, which ultimately builds up, and now you have this mindset against your partner, which has been created by what you're viewing. So get yourself back to who created what you are, which is, and also the marriage is a creation of God. Align yourself with the Creator, and that will begin to give you a mind shift, because it's first in your mind before it manifests physically.
Amen.
Whether it's the bad or the positive or the negative.
Oh, I don't feel like adding anything, but I'd like you to, as a parting shot, to tell us what's working for you. What constitutes a healthy marriage?
What constitutes a healthy marriage is prayer. Because what I discerned and I got early enough in marriage is there's no day that both of you, or season that both of you will be at the same level in terms of that days you'll be low, and you need the strength of the other partner to uplift you in their prayers. And my wife
Please.
My wife prays a lot, and that is one thing that has also spiced up our marriage. She's a very prayerful woman. It's not that I don't pray. I also pray when I have the time to pray. When we have our intercession meetings with the pastors, we have sessions to pray for our spouses and our marriages. So prayer is a very integral part
of a marriage.
Even if it's like, you don't have to wait for a time of the day. Pray anywhere you are. If you're in your car, pray for your wife, pray for your husband. It could be 5 minutes. You're stuck in traffic. You don't know what he or she is going through at that particular time. Or probably your husband is doing a presentation. I've been doing a lot of presentations, and part of why I'm winning in this boardroom presentations is because of her prayers. Because when I'm not praying, I'm in that place presenting. She's on her knees interceding for me. So that's why I'm able to win. And even for her, when she's out there doing her own things, I also take my time to pray for her. You just whisper prayer at that particular moment, and then also communicate your feelings. Marriage is not a rosy affair, our dear viewers. There are seasons where you feel like eating each other up. Like literally tearing each other apart. Yes. But when you argue well.
How do you argue well?
By arguing well.
Look at this one. No, you are lying.
Arguing well.
You are the one who argues here. Look at her. Can she even get mad? Look at her. Look.
She doesn't get mad. But we have our moments. And let me digress a bit. Now being married to a Ugandan and you are Kenyan, when you're arguing and you are mad and there are things you want to say, there's no way you can say, you can argue properly in English.
You want to use your mother tongue.
That sometimes mother tongue comes out strongly, but you can't say.
No, it's okay. You just say them because she won't understand anyway.
No, you want her to understand. So conflict, like I was talking about arguing, arguing well, is you need to argue without tearing each other down. And also communicate how your partner made you feel in a respectful way, and also do some searching yourself and ask yourself, what could I have done to trigger them to act in that way? So you see, once you are able to constantly do that,
communicate
well and argue well, it saves a lot. You see, the more you keep on arguing and tearing each other down, that is also now how you fall out of love with each other, because now they start getting affirmation outside. Yes. They start
and concentrating there where the affirmation is coming from.
Yes.
Well, you said marriage is not all rosy.
Yes.
That was the point you were saying.
Yes.
We say it's a bed. Is it a bed of roses for you?
It's not a bed of roses. It also comes in its seasons. Like as we've gone through the journey from where we began, and I'm sure we are barely there. We have not even started yet, because our kids are still young, and there are those seasons. There'll be the highs and the lows as well. So you're asking if it's a bed of roses?
There are people who think, I can't wait to get married. I'll be laughing every day. Yeah, we don't want to scare you.
They'll be laughing.
There will be laughter. Just as we had also talked about, I think you had mentioned aligning yourself with the value systems. Because if your values at the beginning are not quite aligned, and then maybe you're getting into the marriage for the wrong intentions, because probably someone is at a certain level, and then maybe what happens if the job goes, that doesn't define who they are. It is just what they are doing at that point in time. And now, because you're married to them because of that job, now you look at them in a different light. So it is a bed of roses. However, if your intentions are not correct at the beginning, it will affect the joy, it will affect the commitment, it will affect so many other things. So your values should be correct, your intentions should be correct, and then you will definitely have the joy, you will definitely have the things that make you look at people and say, wow, I would love to also be there.
Talking about the bed of roses, a rose has thorns. We've all had this analogy. So how you handle a rose matters. If you hold it carelessly, you're going to be pricked. But if you hold it carefully, you will enjoy the beauty of the rose.
Wow.
So
handle it with gloves.
With gloves.
So that's the same thing about marriage. You need to handle your marriage with care. And you see, every marriage is unique. My marriage is unique to your marriage. It's only the Holy Spirit who now guides us on how we need to relate to each other. But then, understand, one, the love language of your spouse. What makes her happy? That's how it becomes a bed of roses. How does she like being talked to? And then in marriage, do the small things in a big way. Because I mean, Rodah, when we were dating, we didn't have money. We had like 100 bob. When you're in campus, you go out on those ice cream dates, or you just go
fries, the roadside fries.
Roadside, or you sit at the park on the grass there and you just enjoy it. Those are small things, but you're doing them in a big way. Because in marriage, it's these little things that matter. And then stand by your spouse, because their seasons change. There'll be highs and there'll be lows, but let your spouse know that you are their best friend, that you'll always be there for them no matter what, even if the world is turning against them. God and you will not turn your back on them, and constantly pray for each other. Let me end with this. There's this analogy to the men. You need to father your wife.
Tell us more.
Because during a wedding ceremony, a wife or the girl, the bride is held by the father, the dad, as he's walking her down the aisle.
My dad takes me.
You are walked down the aisle,
by my dad.
And your dad
hands me over to my husband.
To your husband. Who's now this is a father handing over her daughter to another man who is supposed to father the girl.
The girl.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So, and that's why you find it's easy for you to call your husband daddy or
Kababa.
dad or kababa.
Is it easy?
No, it's an analogy that I picked that I'm trying to just share.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So men are meant to father their wives.
Oh, yeah. Now, I have thought about it. It's easy for me to call him daddy than him calling me mommy.
Mommy, yes.
I'll be like, I'm not your mother.
Yes. So, and that's why we also have women, married women using this statement. I think I married my dad.
Dad, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because there are things that she loved in her dad.
Mm-hmm.
There are some values and virtues she loved in her dad that she sees in you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So as a man, father your wife, as in give her that peace, that security that a father brings to our daughter. And to the women, treat your man with a lot of care. Between a bone and a pot, which one is stronger?
The pot.
A pot.
A bone and a pot.
Yeah.
Oh, the bone.
Yes.
You can't break
which one
the
is
bone.
stronger?
The bone.
The bone. So man was created from dust. So man is very brittle. And for a woman,
we came from a bone.
We came from a bone. So
we are very strong.
We are very strong. Take care. Handle us with care. That is why when that man flu gets us, it puts us down. That same flu gets us.
Guys, we'll talk about that flu one day, man.
But handle your man with a lot of care. And just let him know, men are fighting a lot of invisible battles out here that sometimes when they get home, they don't have the energy to just tell them to their wife.
Why?
Because some of them are big.
We are your partners. We are...
There's some, you've just lost a deal.
Come cry on my shoulder.
You're a governor being impeached. You're all over the press. So, like, what they just want. You see, like the way the friends of Job did when he was going through what you went through.
They came there and kept quiet.
And they just they sat around him.
Yes.
Without uttering a word.
Yeah.
And you see, our children most of the time speak this, and even pets. When we are troubled or when you're going through a hard time, they will just come and sit next to you without saying a word. And through that action, you find some form of peace.
Yeah.
So to the married women out there, be the source of peace for your man, because the kind of battles that they're fighting, some of them are weighing them down, that they can hardly communicate it, or they cannot find the right words to say, because each time they speak it wounds them.
Yeah.
So just be there, let them lie on your chest and pat them on the back and give them the best sex ever.
When you've lost a deal, you went to come and, oh God.
You're married, I mean.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to say something as we end. But I'm so shocked. You are saying this girl doesn't talk. She'll talk for 10 minutes. Really?
I'm also shocked.
Really? Look at her now.
Yeah.
She is actually a teacher of the word. You're a pastor, right?
She's a pastor's wife.
Yeah, she's a. You, in the introduction, you didn't say you're a pastor.
I'm a pastor, and I'm also the CEO of BH Media Agency.
Where do you pastor?
Transformers Chapel.
Transformers Chapel.
Yes.
So this is a pastor's wife. Now we understand. We can balance. Please tell the Ugandan women, Kenyan men are very good.
You started by giving a blanket description of Ugandan women.
Yes.
I do not stand by that, because you can't give like a blanket description.
Oh, it's not all Ugandan women.
You can't say Kenyan men are like this.
Oh, yeah.
You can't say Kenyan women as in such a
women are watching.
Yes.
And they know.
So I'm speaking. I'm saying.
So you better be nice.
What I'm saying.
You better be true. Say the truth.
I'm saying that.
You can't
you introduce me that way. I can't like put it over across all Ugandan women and say that's the way we are, because everyone is unique and different.
Yeah.
However, generally, yes, we are people of culture. We are people of values, and we love our culture. We love our values. A parting shot concerning marriage. Concerning marriage is beautiful. Marriage is amazing. Make sure that you hold on to your values also, like I had said. And I want to believe that as you are getting into the marriage, those are the things that you had already laid down as a foundation for your marriage. So if you've already laid down your foundation, then you can always go back and say, oh, are we still holding on to those things that we say that we will be our foundation for our marriage. And then also there's something that has escaped me. Has just left my train of thought. However, make sure that yes, your expectations towards each other because we are humans, we grow, and we have different. We grow, and maybe what I was like my goal for 10 years ago is not what my goal is now. Because for the next 10 years, I'll have different goals. So can you communicate those to your spouse and make your expectations clear so that they can also be able to, you can be able to come together and be able to move together and align yourself towards the same goal. And in that, God orders a blessing. Because He says where there is unity, He commands a blessing. So if you're wondering, why is this not happening for me? Go back and see what is my relationship with my spouse. How are we communicating and treating each other? And then from there you'll be able to know how you can be able to patch, and the Lord will bless you in your marriage. Amen. And you will have that constant laughter and the constant joy that you're seeking for. Amen. It all lies in Him.
And you see, also as we wrap this up, is marriage is consistency. Because at the end of the day, you have it's more than just love. You have to choose your spouse every day. It stops being a feeling, and it now becomes a decision. So you have to be consistent in your decision. There'll be so many beautiful girls every now and then, but you made that conscious choice that she's the most beautiful girl in the world for you. So be consistent in your decision, like approve or approve her every day or him every day. And love is also in form of how you communicate to your wife. Being consistent in your communication, being consistent in your understanding of the seasons that you are going through, being consistent in your forgiveness. Because as human beings we blunder. But there's nothing. Again, there's a disclaimer to this. There's nothing too big that cannot be forgiven in marriage.
That one I believe.
So from today, in case you're going through a hard time in your marriage, ask yourself, and my wife said it, ask yourself, why did I choose my wife? Why did I choose my husband? Why did I choose to get married to this beautiful man or beautiful woman?
What if what I chose changed?
Ask yourself, why did it change? The key question is the why. Ask yourself the why. Because it's in two parts. You could be the one causing it, they could be the one causing it. So once you understand your why, you are able now to communicate effectively and act accordingly to make your marriage fruitful and work. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, marriages are working, marriages are flourishing, and marriage is work. You need to keep on working at your marriage every given day. And even today, as you're watching this, I'd like to get your phone and just drop a text message to your spouse, to your husband and your wife, and tell them, babe, I love you, and see the kind of response that you get. If
they say, what do you want now? Me, I'm trying.
Just do that, and you will see the kind of response you get.
We hope we get responses.
You will, and once you get, be consistent. As in, surprise them with this random text, random flowers. It doesn't have to be Valentine's for you to send flowers. And for men, let me talk to you for a second. you know, a woman is a beauty to die for. That is why we pursue them at the end of the day. If they are not a beauty to die for, look at all these movies. We always have these starrings in movies who are fighting for a chick.
Yes.
Cindy, if they are not fighting over this chick, then there will be lonely men fighting lonely battles.
Ouch.
So keep on pursuing your wife every day by sending her those texts, by getting her those gifts. And you know, the reason why they have a womb is whatever you give, they process it and give it to you, pressed down, shaken together, running over. So if you want to enjoy your marriage well, do these small things, and you'll come back and thank me later.
You're not adding anything. We'll wait for the response. I will put in the comment section what my husband will respond. I've said I love you. Yes, I will put.
That's nice.
To add on that, I learned a trick. You can do a voice note prayer and just bless your spouse. That one really works. I have tested and I have seen.
Nice.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Kenya and Uganda united.
This is the East Africa community. Yeah, so
Not fully. That's the two.
So we don't know if our kids are going to go to Burundi, Rwanda,
Tanzania.
So we've started the trend. So we don't know where it will go from here.
We don't know.
Thank you so much for your time and your wisdom. Thank you for showing up, and may God keep your marriage and keep blessing you. May you be the light. May the world see what's working for you and glorify God.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you've learned, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.